Hi, I'm Carolyn Johnson. I'm 19 years old and I am a sophomore at Cal State. My hometown is called Glendora. It's about 35 miles from Long Beach and it's a great little place to be. It's kind of in the suburbs, but it's also a great place. There's a lot of stuff to do there. I have hiking just like maybe 5 minutes away from my house. I live in the foothills, which is great. Um, One of my biggest hobbies is hiking, and I just always have a great time there. My first language is English. I was brought up with English, and I'm teaching myself how to use sign language right now, which I am having a blast at. But finding someone that I can converse back and forth with is sometimes very difficult. Just being able to practice is very hard, but a lot of it is one-on-one memorization of the different signs. I plan to do my observations in my old elementary school called Washington Elementary. A great little town. Majority is Hispanic. I recently changed my major from athletic training to teaching, and I am so happy with this change, and I'm very excited. When I was in first grade, I had the two dual teachers that would go back and forth. One would teach 2 days, the other would teach 3 days, and then the next week they would switch. And I was kind of left out. I kind of fell through the cracks. And a lot of the basic understanding for math and my spelling, I didn't learn it as I should have, and it was not good. And even to this day, I still have issues with math and spelling, and it's from those small fundamentals that I should have learned in first grade, but I didn't get that. And that's one of my biggest things about when I become a teacher. I want to make sure that no child falls through the cracks as I did. But of course, on a lighter note, I have a passion for kids. I love working with kids. Just over the summer, I worked at my church. We had a Christian camp, and there were third, fourth, and fifth graders there. And I just had a great time with them, showing them what they're supposed to be doing, but not telling them what to do. It was more of a guiding and a suggesting to do what they needed. And I just love working with kids. And even before, early in my high school career, I was thinking teaching. Then I got hooked on athletic training and being with the athletes and stuff. And in college, the classes were really difficult for athletic training. And you know what? I knew that I needed to make a change. And I realized teaching is what I wanted. Teaching is exactly what I wanted. It's great for my personality. It's great because I just love working with kids, and I'm so excited to go for it. So in Greatness by Design, one of the things that I mainly learned from that is you have to be fully prepared to teach, and everything must be different, and all the children are different. And there's licenses that are needed in order to make sure the teacher is ready to actually teach the kids successfully. And even before becoming a teacher, and even during the teacher, there's the PACT, the Performance Assessment for California Teachers, just to make sure that the teachers know what's going on. And also then there's the TPA, so the Teacher Performance. So it's not only knowledge of teaching, but it's also the how to teach and their success of it all. In Nieto's article, a lot of it was about bilingual students and the good things and the bad things of being bilingual. And it was fascinating to read about the history, how our country went from everyone knew a second language because the people coming over from Europe and other places, they were brought up with their own native language. However, the fascinating part of it all was during the war, so World War One, the German language was kind of shunned. And that was interesting to me, that they just completely block out an entire language and entire culture because of the disdain because of that war. But eventually, languages were becoming more taught, which was really good. And now, to this day, there's those that speak other native languages, which works out quite sufficiently and whatnot. But of course, with those that spoke a native language, they also needed to learn English. So, of course, someone needs to be able to teach English. So having the dual sense of being able to speak English and also their native language, it's huge and so beneficial to the student because not only do they have the skills in English, but they do in their native language to communicate more and possibly teach even more of those in their native culture, to be able to teach them English and communicate. And a good teacher in every classroom, every student learns in a different way. There's those that learn through hands-on, through oral, actually speaking, and there's those that learn by doing. There's by doing, listening, and teaching it, of course. And it was very interesting to read about just how the students learn and just the different beneficial ways that that child learns. So one of my greatest accomplishments, well, I have many great accomplishments. However, if I were to pick one, it's really hard. But I chose hiking Half Dome. In Yosemite National Park, there's a very well-known hike. It's Half Dome. Being from Yosemite Valley up to Half Dome, it's about 17 miles. And it took my brother and I 12 hours to go up and down. And it was probably one of the hardest hikes I've had to do. But it was worth every second. I probably twisted my ankle about 3 or 4 times. But that didn't matter. I was so determined to get up there. And I had been sick previously, so I was dehydrated. And I was not in the best shape. But you know what? I still did it. And through my determination and the encouragement from my older brother, I was able to do that. And it not only was a physical battle, but it was also a mental battle. And to be able to persevere through was huge for me and for my brother and everyone that is able to do Half Dome. So something that no one would know about me. Well, I'm going to school to also become an EMT. I just finished my class about 2 weeks ago, and I passed my final for that class. So my next step is to take national, which is created by a bunch of wonderful EMTs that decided to make the test as hard as possible and to make themselves feel superior and smarter than the rest. So all the questions are these insane questions that just, every one of them will be right, but you have to choose the best out of the choices. So that makes things a lot more difficult than you would think they would be. But you know what? I love doing EMT. I love the idea of being able to possibly saving someone's life and having the skills to be able to give basic life support. If someone seizes in front of me, I know exactly what to do. If there's a car accident, I will be able to help. And that is very rewarding. But also to be able to impact someone's life is huge, and I am so excited for the time that I will be an EMT. Thank you for listening, and great job. I'm so excited for this entire class and everything going on. Bye!